Hey, good morning. It is Wednesday morning, and today, for English, we are going to read the story called Fine. When you open up the story on page 17, you remember you click on the e-textbooks, click on the Black Book collections, and we're in the first part where the theme is fear, and we are going to read the story. As you read the story, if you want to click on audio, then they'll read the story along with you. When you turn the page, you'll have to keep on clicking on audio to be able to hear it. Before we read, we're going to review about first person, second person, and third person. I've posted a sheet for you. So when they talk about point of view, like who's telling the story, they're talking about who the narrator is. And the narrator, if it's in first person, that means the story is being told by one of the characters in the story. How do we know that? Well, they'll use words like I or me or we because they're in the story. Second person means the story is being told by a narrator and he's talking to you, to the reader. And he'll say things like you or your. Those are the key words. Third person, the story is being told by a narrator who's outside of the story. And they don't even really know the characters. They'll say like he did this or she did this or they went here. It's told by somebody outside of the story. When it's third person, there are three types of third person, and this is on your chart. Third person limited means they're limited in what they know about. Like they will know the thoughts and feelings of one of the characters, but that's all. They don't know everybody's thoughts or feelings. Third person omniscient. They know the thoughts and feelings of every person. So they'll say things like, he worried about it as he walked home from school. He worried about his grades. Well, how does he know he's worried? Well, he's omniscient. He knows. And it's of every character. So we'll know what every character is feeling or their thoughts in their head. The third one is objective. And if it's objective, that means they don't really know any character's feelings or thoughts. We only know them by what they say in the story. So we have first person, they are one of the characters. Second person, they are talking to you, the reader. Third person, they're not talking to you and they're not in the story. They're outside of the story, repeating a story. And third person can be limited, knowing the thoughts of one character. Third person omniscient means they know the thoughts and feelings of every character. And then objective, they don't know any thoughts or feelings of anybody in the story, that we just know them by what they say. Okay, so keep that in mind as we read, and we're going to find out what point of view this story is told. The author of the story is Margaret Peterson Haddix. She writes a lot of series of books that are really interesting. So if you like this book, this short story, you might want to get a book by her and read. Most of her books are sort of around 4, 5, 4, 7 books. They're not real high level books, so they're pretty easy to read. So you might try checking out one from a library, or if you come back to school, you'll be able to do that. Vocab, you had to look up words like the plot, the conflict, suspense, the exposition. So you should know what those things mean now after you looked up information and wrote them in a sentence. So we'll talk about that after we get done reading today. You also have the word flashback. Remember flashback? They use that a lot even in movies and shows on TV. They'll be going along like what's happening today, and then in the middle of the story, sometimes the character will flash back or remember back to an event that's already happened in the past. And it kind of ties in with what they're feeling now. So if you had something kind of traumatic happen to you in the past and you're maybe you're out walking alone on the street and you might have a flashback of something that you saw in a show about something that happened to somebody walking alone on the street, or maybe another time you were scared, that would come back to you, that memory. That is called a flashback. I think the other terms we'll probably talk tomorrow more about plot stages about voice and dialogue. So that's basically what we're doing in English today. We're going to go over those first, second, and third person. We're going to read the story with the audio and then probably talk a little bit about it. For social studies today, we're going to study for the test that we're taking tomorrow. So you will take your test over chapter 1 on a Google form and then turn that in. Our study today is if you get on Quizlet, and I have that marked. Quizlet, you can study by flashcards, you can take practice tests, you can, I'm not sure how else you can do it. There's lots of ways of studying, but of those, there will not, excuse me, there will not be a question on the test that's not included on Quizlet. And Quizlet, so you get on there and practice however you want, as many times as you want, and then tomorrow we will take the test, which is worth 100 points. Hopefully you are all caught up. These are all second quarter. Everything we've done with UTSI has been a second quarter grade. You should have watched the video yesterday and answered 4 of those 9 questions. That was, you need to make sure you do that and make sure you turn it in. You should have your vocab sentences and definitions done and turned in. iStation test should be completed. And I think that's mostly it for this week. Remember, we don't have school on Friday. So after tomorrow, you'll have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to work on anything that if you're a little bit behind to get caught up. Okay, as usual, if you have questions, you need to just email me and let me know what you have questions on. When you have turned in something the wrong way or you've turned it in blank, I will always return that to you and make sure that you read what's wrong. Why am I returning it to you? Okay. And I think that's good. So if you have questions today, call me and let me know. Not call me, but email me and let me know, and we'll try to work things out. Hopefully everybody at your house is healthy and doing well, and you are too. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.